When we talk about colonial powers in India, often who are the countries that come to mind? Typically the Portuguese, the French, the Dutch, and the British. Rarely do we think of the Danes as a colonial power that had set up shop in India. And today we're going to talk about that because it's fascinating that they came all the way back in 1620 and settled and set up shop in a place called Tranquebar in present-day Tamil Nadu, and went on till 1845 when they finally shut shop and handed over everything to the British. The whole charter to set up a Danish East India Company was signed in 1616 by King Christian IV. And imagine, shortly thereafter, a voyage was sent with 5 ships and 500 people in 1618, and it took 2 years to get to India via Sri Lanka. Had many a battle with the Portuguese, and finally landed up in the court of the Nayaka, Raghunath Nayak in Tanjore. And after much negotiation, were given permission to set up shop in Tranquebar. Tranquebar is in Tamil Nadu, and it's a city in Tamil which is named Tarangambadi, but Tranquebar is the anglicized or the Danishized version of that. And a very famous fort, the Dansborg Fort, was set up in Tranquebar. Tranquebar actually helped the Danes make a hell of a lot of money for over 200 years. Of course, the pressures of multiple colonial powers and the competition got to them, and finally people left Tranquebar for more lucrative locations under the French in Pondicherry and Karaikal, and the British in what is now Madras and Fort St. George, etc. And the importance of Tranquebar slowly started to fizzle out in the early 19th century, and by 1845 they had shut shop. We have some interesting coins. Most of the coins are in copper and in silver. There was an occasion for issuance of a coin in gold and also in lead. But mostly the coins were in copper and in silver. And here is a small sample. I'm sure you will see the image when it is enlarged. This is a coin issued by Frederick IV, and it is called a Kash. And if you can imagine, this is the term from where cash originated also. So this is the CAS, C-A-S it used to be called, and it's in copper. And Frederick IV, of course, reigned from 1699 to 1730. So you can imagine the vintage of this coin. Subsequently, we have coins issued by various kings of Denmark. This is an interesting silver coin, and it's a coin denominated the Royalina, and this was issued from the year 1780s. We don't have the exact last digit. If you look at it, 1, 7 and 8 are very, very clear. The Royalina is very clear. And of course, the king's crown with a C and the 7 inset inside that is also extremely clear. So Christian VII, and it was one of the most common coins from the Danish times which are available in India, because Christian VII ruled from 1766 to 1808, which is almost 42 years. So incredibly long rule, and therefore plenty of coins issued from his time. And of course, Christian VIII finally closed and shut shop in India and moved on. So there's a bunch of coins here from those times. A fascinating little place. Of course, the Danes expanded to a few more locations in India. They went to a place which is in present day West Bengal called Serampur. But for the most part, they were most active out of Tranquebar. And that's where they stayed for 220 odd years before they shut shop and left India.